Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Magic Mike's Plus One Plus One. Proudly sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com, CardHoarder.com, Alter Sleeves, as well as Twitch subscribers and Patreon supporters just like yourself. I am Evan Irwin, and we get started each week by saying hello to my two co-hosts, MTG Nerd Girl.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Ruben Bressler.
How's it going?
And our special guest for this episode, AliEldrazi, right down there.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. That is
Good
terrific.
to see you, buddy.
You too.
So, if you missed our pre-show, our patrons get to see that exclusively. And with that, let's start the show. Up first is Outside Assistance. This is where we've chosen a question from the comments, one of our last Plus One shows specifically, and that person gets $50 worth of anything at CoolStuffInc.com. Now, the question is, Ruben?
Yeah, so here's an interesting one from the YouTube. This is the user named Sig. Probably not the Sig, the River Cutthroat or the River Guide, but someone else named Sig, who writes, question for the next guest. If there is one rules change in Magic that you could reverse, what would it be and why? Not a new rule, not a new change, but something that has changed that you would roll back.
I would roll back the Mindslaver effect. But usually you could Mindslaver somebody and ask them to look at the sideboard. After Emrakul, the Promised End was printed, they said you could no longer ask for your point on the sideboard because it's just, I guess, too much time or whatever. I would take that. I would reverse that rolling.
Nice.
I'm impressed that you had something so ready to go there.
Yeah.
Like you must have strong feelings about that to just have that like on a split second.
I just love Mindslaver. People like, hey, let me see your sideboard.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that sounds like a very Ollie thing to do. Play silver cards that take your turns.
There you go. Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
It's a built-in time warp, but different.
That's right.
There you go. Well, thank you to Sig for being a part of the show. Get your prize by hitting us up on Twitter DMs at Magic Mike's Cast and get your questions in for next week's guest. So maybe you can be part of our Plus One show. And we generally start up here with the beginning of our turns here to talk about the origin story. Tell us the origin story of AliEldrazi and how you sort of got to where you are today.
Well, so I started playing Magic originally in high school. I played in the cafeteria. We played this casually, right? Like one of my friends had Blinding Angel, which is like I think a 5-mana angel. It's a 2/4. Whenever it hits the opponent, they can't attack next turn. And we thought that card was just like broken. We're like, we're gonna ban this card. You can't play this card anymore because we can't attack you. How's that even fair? Anyways, we played. So went from like cafeteria gameplay, then eventually it's like, hey, let's go to the local game store. Started playing Constructed there. My first deck I ever built was like just a Squirrel Overrun, like Acorn Harvest, just a really bad deck. It was budget, but it was fun. And then I was like, you know what, I want to be competitive, I want to get better. So then like the store owner helped me build Blue Green Madness. So my first competitive deck was Madness, and then Sakatog. And from there, I wanted to travel to GPs and stuff, but my mother was no. She's like, no, you can't. Can't do that because I don't know who you're traveling with, and she's just old fashioned. So as soon as I got my driver's license, I was just traveling as much as I could. I was trying to make money any way I could by mowing lawns, by like selling other stuff I had, my old games, anything I could do just to travel and go play Magic. And then I started working carnivals, playing Magic, traveling. Eventually qualified for some Pro Tours. I won US Nationals. Actually, one of the last US National Champions.
Well, so I won the very last, yeah.
And I won the SG Invitational. I got the image of the angel, or the angel token in my image. That's back then. Won multiple Baltimore Opens as well. And I was on the train, as they say back then, like on the Pro Tour. I kept traveling. I was Gold Pro. Then my son was born, which is a different story. I'm not going to get into it, but like basically he was born. I don't know he existed, which is a little awkward. But anyways, so basically I had to cut back and move back to North Carolina and do all that and just fall off the train. And for a couple of years, I just focused on that. Like Magic, I took a break from for like a solid 3-4 years. And then I slowly got back into it. I traveled lightly here and there. And then Arena came out, and my friends were like, "Hey, Ollie, you should play Arena. You should stream it." And I was like, "No, I don't know what to do with streaming. I'm not very good at technology. I'll just travel and do it the old-fashioned way. They're like, no, you should really do it. All right, whatever, sure, I'll try it. I started doing it, and I think because I had a name already in the community, I had a leg up, and it just slowly took off. And like every year is like been better than the last. Knock on wood. So, and now I just stream full time, and I go to some events sometimes with like Nerd Girl to Magic 30 or TwitchCon and stuff. But yeah, mostly now I'm just a streamer on Twitch. That's the very short version of my story. But
how sophisticated is your setup at this point compared to sort of where you started?
oh my god, it used to be one. I used to actually have one screen, a really bad camera, and my phone would be my chat. I have a phone for chat because like
I've been there.
Yes, exactly. See, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My computer was like laggy and stuff. My lighting there was no lighting. It was just like what lights in the room, you know. No green screen. Whatever's in my background. My background was a bed in my childhood room. Is what it was. My name was up above me. It was very, very embarrassing. But you know, I was trying though. I think that's the most important thing about streaming. People are like, oh, what do I need? X, Y, or Z? How do I do this? The biggest thing is just if you want to do that, just go and do it. The same with gym. People are like, oh, how should I work out? What should I do? The biggest thing is just doing it. And if you can just do it a few times and you get that you get that routine going, then start upgrading. I think the biggest thing is just doing the thing that you want to do. You get whatever it is.
Taking the leap and getting started.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah, that's what I think.
Now
Good
you've been
advice.
playing. Yeah, it's great advice. Sorry. Didn't mean to step on you there. There are some Magic players that will play whatever is good. I would say most Magic players fall into the category of I'm a pro, I will play what is good. But there is certainly a shorter list of people that if you say their names, you expect a certain type of deck, right? If I say Guillaume Wafo-Tapa, if I say Craig Wesco, if I say Paul Rietzel, like you expect a certain type of deck to be played by those people. And I would posit that AliEldrazi is on that list. If I see AliEldrazi playing
what
a
are you
list,
expecting? Like Craig Wesco,
I am
you think mono
expecting-
white, right?
huh? Mono white
Craig
aggro.
Wesco, mono white.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm curious. What do you think we say?
I expect 7 mana enchantments. I expect 10 one-ofs. I expect blue and black mana, maybe all 5 colors of mana. I expect huge spells.
Huge effects.
Big swings in control decks primarily. Was that always the case? Do you have, I mean, you found what you like.
Man. So originally growing up, I liked just whatever. But that eventually I settled into control territory. I love blue-white control. I like blue-black control. Like I won nationals with blue-black control. Because I was like, you know what, control gives you the most advantage because you have more turns, so you can like outplay your opponent and you give them a chance to mess up and give you a chance to make better decisions. And then as I got older, I was like, man, this is boring. I just want to cast the big stuff. I want to just cast this. I want to be losing, then boom, win the game. And then I picked up started playing Tron. Like Tron. So when I won the Invitational, Red Green Tron wasn't really the deck. Like it was known about, but I hadn't won anything at that point. I went and borrowed the cards for Red Green Tron back when Ivugin was legal. I built this and I put it together with the Invitational. I played the deck. And after I top baited, this is like a 2-day event. Top baited the deck, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy these cards because Tron's cheap. Everything had like quadrupled in price. I was like, mother, sweet Jesus. But basically, like, I went from like control player to like big, silly, fun. Basically, I tried to play Commander in Standard, just because. I went from being like really competitive, like almost like cutthroat, to I want to have fun, enjoy, but also win. So it's a balance. Because if I lose too much, I'm not having fun. So even if the deck's cool, it doesn't matter to me. It has to be like fun and competitive. And I think my niche is like I try to do that all the time. So like I was a big I was the first person to top it with Blue Green Nexus of Fate before it exploded. Golos Feel the Dead, I was prominent with that. Actually beat Brian Braun in one of the finals online tournaments with that before his deck 2. He was playing like blue white, or he was playing like Hero Precinct 1. And then Lich's Mastery, which is like the Rainbow Lich, 5-color Lich deck. There you go, behind Ruben. And then I had like the Mastermind combo deck. Basically anything like that's, I don't know, anything I deem cool, I think it's cool, I want to play it and make it as competitive as possible.
You also tend to play decks where a lot of people will be like, all right, this is the control deck. And then Ollie will go, no, here's another step.
Yes.
Like we can be more dirtily or bigger or slower in some way.
Usually the joke was among like people that knew me, they're like, do not dirtle against Ollie because he will out dirtle you.
Yeah.
Do not try to go over him. Just try to go under him.
You are the dirtle champion.
Yes.
Here's a big question. Both of you have said his name. Have I been saying his name wrong this whole time?
How do you say it?
AliEldrazi?
Eldrazi is his username.
Yeah, that's his Twitch username.
Okay, so you guys are calling him by his real name.
By his government name. We're not trying to out him.
I knew Ali before he was Mr. Eldrazi, is all I'm saying.
It's funny now. People don't know me now. Like people hop on Twitch and they'll be like, they don't know me at all.
Yeah.
Like people, it's like I have two different lives. Ali Eldrazi back in the days. Now Ali Eldrazi, and it's just like
I didn't know that was a name you went by. So I've heard both of you guys say his name, and I was just like, I had to like go back and look, and I'm like, how does he spell his screen name?
You've got to remember that we're terribly old. Like, so old.
This is a bunch of PTQ grinders going to sit around about PTQ grinding.
This is old. This is ancient.
You said Blinding Angel, and I was like, I know exactly what that card is. My
sorry. So
also didn't like it.
People didn't know. I think it's like 5 mana. The 2/4 flyer.
5 mana. It was a rare from Nemesis. There's a reason why nobody knows what that card does.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was a 2/4 flyer. It would dealt combat damage to your opponent. Your opponent skipped their attack phase the next turn. So back, like we were playing this card, I was like, how do you beat this card? Like you need to remove a spell, you're dead.
Yeah.
So it was broken back then. Also, we thought Sagatog was unplayable. Like 3 mana 1/2 or something like that.
I mean, the Night Mage Infiltrator, the John Finkel card.
Shadow Mage
Infiltrator. That was supposed to be the big one, right? That was the rare one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the story of how that card started seeing play.
Because it was proxy, right?
Because it was a proxy. Yeah.
Right.
And then they were like,
really? That's funny.
Yeah. They didn't have enough Shadow Mage Infiltrators, so they proxied Psychotogs, this useless card. And then they realized, wait a second, instead of drawing a card, I could just kill you.
That seems reasonable. Yeah. Upheaval, float mana, play Sagatog, go. That was the play back then. So yes, this is a funny story too. Back when I first started playing. So there's a card called Upheaval, 6 mana, return all permanents, even lands to your hand. And you're supposed to Upheaval, float mana, play Sagatog, and then kill them next turn. Usually, right?
Yep.
Or if you had anger in the graveyard or something, regardless.
Yeah.
I remember playing this deck for the first time. I got to like 6 mana or 10 mana or something. I was like Upheaval. I just balanced everything. I said go. Like,
yeah.
I thought that was the play. We start the game. I was like, what do you? What does this thing do?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
What's the joke? I don't get it. Yeah.
I don't get it. I was like, how am I supposed to win though? I said, I don't understand. My Goblin opponent back then, there was a Goblin deck, like a Goblin Sly, just plays a Goblin deck and kills me with Pile Driver, and I'm like, I don't understand why is this card in the deck? And I cut it. I cut Upheaval from this Tog deck. I don't know how to use it. So yeah.
That's funny. High level strats, man.
Yeah, it was.
So you were a high level pro. You were a champion of the United States. You were a SEG Open champion. You've been to many pro tours. Yeah. Now you're a high level content creator, streamer, almost always in the top 10 of active streamers when you're online. Those are two very different things, and two very different things that are very hard to be good at. what made you want to make the switch? Was it a conscious choice, or was it just like, I'm kind of done with this? You kind of explained your hiatus.
Yeah.
Was it a function of that, or was there something else there?
Honestly, it was one, streaming. Obviously the convenience is nice. COVID obviously made me have almost no choice. Even before COVID, honestly, it was the money. Like, traveling to events and not knowing if you're in top 8 or if you have a sponsor to help you or not. Sometimes you make money, sometimes you don't. And streaming is like just a constant money, and it's honestly the most money I've ever made, period. So that in itself is like, so now I travel to events to meet fans and try to, like, say hi or whatever. I'm not going to really compete as much. I could, but like my goal when I travel is to have fun, hang out, cube, whatever it is. And now my money maker is streaming. And it's I wish I started earlier, honestly, or I wish I started on YouTube or earlier or anything, because this is the best content creator job I've ever had as far as Magic in my life. Like, I've written for Star City Games, written for Channel Fireball, PSG Player, cool stuff. I've written for everybody, and the best thing as a content creator for Magic, I think, is like maybe podcast or streaming. I'm not sure how good podcast is for the other ones are. All I know is streaming is good if you make it to like the top end.
Yeah. Streaming's, I mean, if you can get to where you're making it, it's a great living to make, but it is hard to get there.
Yes, it is. It's definitely a competitive field. I agree with you.
Yeah, but
I had an edge because of my paper days.
That's true.
I think.
Yeah, and I think in terms of the way you look at the game and you deck build and you look at the cards, for example, like when you called Leyline and I was over there like, hey, is Leyline okay? And you're like, Leyline's insane.
Yeah.
Leyline?
Okay, Leyline's the recent one.
Leyline Binding.
Leyline of Binding.
So
Leyline
I was
Binding.
like, this card came out, I was like, this card is nuts.
I remember those tweets.
Yeah, Evan was like, is it that good? Is it too? Like, no, Evan, you don't understand. This card is the best card in the set. It's really good. I'm telling you, it's good.
Has seen, I think, Legacy play at this point or something.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Yeah,
card's great. Well, speaking of, I guess, nutty cards, Magic over the first 25 years was one thing, and then over the past 5 years with Project Booster Fun and variants and Secret Lairs
Booster Fun
and everything that came after it, right? Sort of how do you feel at this point that the way Magic has grown over the past 5 years? This is basically the arena era forward.
Yeah. So with honestly, I see a person that I know card names. I know cards do. I'm the person that like plays setup your card in whatever deck because that's what I'm known for usually, right? But even I do not know all the cards out right now. It's just impossible, I feel like, because commander cards are just so like they're not played anything except like Legacy, I guess, right? Or Commander, obviously. But I think even commander players don't even know all the cards they have access to because there's so many unique, weird Commander stuff. Don't even get me started on all the art. The art is just there's so many there's a card like 10 arts probably. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But personally, it doesn't bother me personally. Like it's like going to the grocery store. It's like, you know what? I'm here to buy bananas and fruits and some tofu. Grocery store has like a plethora of other items. I'm not buying those. I'm also going to be like, why are you selling cereal? I'm not buying that. Like, I don't care. I'm not buying cereal. I'm buying this other stuff. So to me, it doesn't bother me personally. I don't care. There's sometimes they'll release a Secret Lair like, oh, that's cool. I want to buy that. Personally, I'm looking forward to the Final Fantasy Secret Lair. So I'm more of like
the argument for
it's quite clear now.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's I think some of it is ask of like power level, for example. Has it gone down power level, or has it got too much just on, I guess, content as well? It's just there's so much coming out, and recently Rosewater was like, well, the people who try to pay attention to everything are what they call omnivores, and they're like, you just want, you're trying to envelop everything, and you can't, because all the little sections, the collectors who care about Secret Lair and the commanders who play our commander stuff, and the competitive players who care about whatever, those are separate buckets, and if you try to look at all the buckets, you will just get drowned in everything. Now
you will. Yeah, right. In the past that was the case. Now it is. Yeah,
right.
As far as power level wise, I feel like after I'll drain the realized, hey, we need to tone it back. And this last set, man, Brothers War.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it has not much impact as you would think, because it's artifact set, right?
Yeah.
But most standard decks like maybe incorporate 1 or 2 cards. The only new deck that emerged is like mostly like some soldier white weenie deck, but I don't really count white weenie as a new deck anyways. But I think now they're toning it back. You know, like there's always like maybe 1 or 2 cards that are really, really powerful, and everything else is like not. It used to be like new set. Okay, these cards are seeing play in Legacy and Modern. They're very powerful, like Uro or Oko or Fire's Invention or Go Feel the Dead or whatever it was card they printed. So, how do I feel about that personally? I might get some flack for this. I like it. I liked Fire Design a little bit just because it's so disappointing when new set comes out and then you're like, let's play all these cards, and you realize these cards just don't do as much as you hoped they did. And so I enjoy getting hyped by new cards or powerful cards and playing like, oh my god, this card is so crazy. And then you play with other cards like, oh my god, this card is even crazier. So I kind of like it. I kind of like the newness of a set shaking everything around. But that also goes back to my gameplay. Like even when I play Magic, I play the card that shakes the whole game. Like it's going to swing the game back and forth, right? And I enjoy the sets being the same way personally, but I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I think it's so wild, particularly honestly, like foils, for example. Like foils are now, if not the same exact price, sometimes cheaper. Than their non-foil counterpart. That's insane.
But I think it's because too, you see people like, this person got suspended or because of their playing foil companies that are marked.
That's also true.
That happens so many times, I think too. I think people are scared to like get foils because now it's like if you get 1 foil, you have to get all the foils. But I personally prefer alternate art. Like if you give me like a full art or alternate art card on foil, I like that more now, more than foil.
Do you still have a big paper collection?
I have some dual lands, I have some of my modern stuff. I haven't really kept up with new cards, but I do have like my stuff from when I was like grinding, which I'm sure is worth a certain amount at some point somewhere. I don't know.
A bunch of money if you have to cash out.
Yeah.
Now I had another question. There are many things that you're known for. One of them is control decks. One of them is content creation. Another is your massive forearms and your workout regimen. I believe you almost certainly have the record for the most watched hot tub stream among Magic streamers.
Sure.
That's gotta be a thing, right?
Do a hot tub stream?
It was like an inflatable baby pool stream.
I've done 1 hot tub stream because I was like, I set an absurd goal. I was like, if this goal is reached, whatever, sure, I'll do one. And it was like, I think it was like 4,000 subs or something.
Yeah.
Which was absurd. And they hit it. I was like, whatever, sure, I'll do a hot tub stream for you guys. And so the hot tub stream got a lot of views too. So like, I think it's like one of the most watched videos ever. There's no magic. It's funny, but yeah.
Just hanging out in the hot tub.
Yeah, perfect.
Peter Kelsey was there too. It was Kelsey and I doing hot tub stream.
Right.
But we had like games where you could like donate a set amount to have her, like dunk water on me, or I think there was also like we had ducks floating in the in the pool, and if you donate a set amount, like 5 subs, we'd put your name on duck and put it somewhere. It's like little things like that, just hot tub streamer stuff, I guess. Because like when I had to do it, I was like, you know what, I need to research on hot tub streams. What do I need to do? I went and find out what you need to do. So,
are you planning more of them?
There you go.
Oh God, I've gotten this question so many times actually, but for me, it's like I'm not a hot tub streamer, but so taking all my stuff like downstairs because I have 2 floors and doing hot tub stream is a lot for me. So like, will I do it again? Yes, but not because I want to, because like the people push it on me again because like a goal or something, but I wouldn't do it out of my own personal hot tub stream.
Not gonna buy like a separate like iPhone or something just to have on a tripod down there to,
maybe I should. Maybe I should.
We're gonna make some cash these days.
Now, I started that question not to encourage you to do more hot tub streaming, but to talk about working out.
Nobody believes that, Ruben.
Well,
originally,
listen,
so
I
like
gotta
actually,
cover myself, but
I used to be like 300 pounds, my heaviest, I think. And then my mid 20s, I started. Actually, I was working with Evan. I think I started the games at that point, and I started like really working out and eating a lot less and doing low carb basically. And I lost a lot of weight. I wasn't like big. I was just skinny and small. I basically lost the fat. And then after a while, you know what? I want to start bulking up. So I started like eating more and working out different ways. And now, here I am. So basically, it's a mindset of like, if you want something, you gotta just do it one day at a time. And you'll get there. It might suck the first couple of times, but
yeah, it sounds like there's like an ellipses there, and there's like so much, work and suffering that you.
Oh, there is a lot of work. Don't be wrong. There's a lot of work, but like I'm shortening it a lot. There's a lot of suffering. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's good suffering ultimately, but
yeah, it pays off. But even now, like I still have my old hunger where I just want to eat everything. Like I'm very hungry. Even now, I'm the heaviest I've been in a long time. I'm actually like 250 now. I usually run 200, but it's a mixture of like muscle / I guess, but it's okay. We'll call it bulking. Then come summertime, we'll shred it off.
Get shredded.
We're bulking right now. Yeah.
How many times a day, or how many times a week do you work out now?
4 to 5 times a week.
And then what about when you're super try-harding?
As far as like, originally I'd go every day. And so I used to go every day, and then 3 days out of the week I'd also run. So like it was a lot. It was a lot of work originally. Now it's like just I want to maintain. I'm not looking to like get more necessarily. I'm just maintain what I have. I think 3 to 4 days is pretty good for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So recently the big hubbub has been the whole 30th anniversary edition Fallout. Where did you kind of land on that one?
So I was a little peeved, not because of the product itself. Well, it was a product, but like it's because like that was a product to celebrate the 30th anniversary. Like if that was one of like 10 products, sure, whatever. This one's not for me. This one's for collectors. I can respect that. But it wasn't like, hey, here's products for stuff that everyone can play. It was just that. That was their thing for everybody. And no, not everyone can afford $1,000 packs. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because like originally I said secret layers, if you have a bunch of secret layers or whatever, I don't care. It's not for me. But when you say, hey, we're celebrating Magic with this cool product that you can use or play in, actually not me, just the vast majority of Magic players can't do anything with it. It's like, are we celebrating grade? What are we celebrating? I don't understand. What are we celebrating exactly? I don't like that. It's kind of, I want to celebrate, and that wasn't really celebratory to me.
Yeah, felt a little rough on that one.
Yeah.
But
Retweet basically everything you just said.
You did get some of those packs though. Did you? You said you were going to open them. Did they have anything?
No, I do have 4 of those packs. And they
Ooh.
You still have them, huh?
Hot Tub 30th anniversary stream.
They are literally in a safe. I'm gonna sit there for X amount of years. And I'm like, hey, because right now I saw someone trying to sell theirs on their my Facebook selling group, and they just got lit up. Like, you can't sell these. Yeah. This is a scam. It's not a scam. But so I'll just sit on them for a while. Let this little die down or whatever. I didn't buy them, but I feel like opening is the worst thing you can do, but not something I want to do. I'll not open them. I'll sell them forever.
They'll live as packs.
They'll live as packs for me. Yes.
There you go.
If you want to open them, by all means, I'll sell them to you and you can open them.
So you talked earlier about the Final Fantasy secret lair that they were doing.
Yes.
And they're doing Lord of the Rings next year. So is Final Fantasy like your number one if they made a
number one
Universes Beyond set?
Oh yes.
It would be so
Which Final
hard.
Fantasy?
I was just gonna say,
What was it?
which Final
Which Final
Fantasy?
Fantasy do you want to see featured?
Oh, 6. Probably 6.
6 is good. I want 9.
9 is good too. I like 7 too. Like 7 is what blew it up.
Yeah.
I feel like 6. I wish 6 came out with the graphics of 7, because I feel like honestly it would beat 7 as far as like story wise. But actually, like I would have 2, and it's a giant sleeve of 6. Probably 6. Like
Is that how you'd have to do it? You'd probably have to split the decks by this is the Final Fantasy VI deck.
I don't know how to do it. I just want like some Kefka villain.
I mean, they could do like themed decks based on like Final Fantasy classes. So you could have like the mage one where it's like red and black mage magic, and you could have like the control deck is like a white mage type theme. And you could have like, I don't know if they're making precons or if they're just doing Secret Lair. I don't know, but that'd be kind of cool if you had like and the commander was like one of the specific white mages, and then the rest of the deck was just sort of themed, sort of like the way they did the 40k decks. I would buy those for sure.
Yeah, I think, yeah, me too. Oh my God, yes, I would too. I would love that. I just hope they don't do like one world. I don't think they will. I think the go-to world is 7 because it's just the most popular one. But I hope they like, split up a bit.
Well, one Secret Lair might not be the only Secret Lair.
Sure.
That's true. So yeah, there's so many of them. By the way, how do you guys feel about Secret Lairs?
I'm the same with you. Like, they're not for me. I'm not gonna. I don't own any Secret Lairs. Like the Secret Lair that's in my house right now, I bought for someone else.
The one in the basement where I bring my dates.
Because I bought it for somebody else, and I have to mail it to them at some point.
Sure.
So those are Secret Lairs. So
yeah,
I'm all about
Evan on the other hand.
Nice.
I mean, I like looking at value. There's sometimes where it's just like smack you upside the head. Like, do you like to make money? If you can afford a $40 box of Magic cards, it will be worth more than $40 in the future.
Yeah.
And all that implies. Like, the one that has, the one right now with Optimus Prime and Megatron, and it's Darksteel Colossus and
Blightsteel Colossus.
Blightsteel, right? And Blightsteel Colossus is like an $88 card.
See?
It's like
like
slam dunk,
Yeah. I think you have an edge on this stuff because you know the prices now. Because you
I'm living in it, man.
Yeah, I had no idea Blightsteel was $88. So
oh my God, it's
insane. Now I'll go buy one. I'll go buy a
right, because it's just like, why wouldn't and other stuff. The other half of it is knowing that if it's like a bad one, it's usually also a good one, because that means no one bought it.
No one bought it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I bought the Godzilla. Yeah, I bought the Godzilla lands because I knew everyone hated it, and like it turned out to be 2 or 3 times its price, and I was like, well,
that's nice. Yeah.
It's just stuff like that. But overall, it's I like collecting, so it's a collector product, right? And it makes sense. So,
it is. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's a neat thing. So, as we finish here on the podcast, we turn a corner here to the fundamental turn. This is a series of fast-paced, off the top of your head questions. Just the first thing that comes to mind as we try to breeze through here and into the final part of our cast here. So, Mr. Ali, what is the first thing you would change if you were in charge of Magic?
Oh God, I think I'd change. I would just change. I would change Arena's thing to where it's not all about how much money we can make, but more about how can we get more players to play our game. I feel like Arena is a great way to get new players to play. They have a great introduction. I really wish the game wouldn't focus on so much on just how much money can we pull out, but more of like how can we grow Magic through this game, because it's also a mobile app, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be my thing.
All right. Old border or new border?
New border.
Favorite set?
I want my tournament.
Favorite mechanic?
Cascade.
Favorite deck?
Some Eldrazi deck. Tron of Eldrazi.
Card you wish you never got rid of?
Oh my God. It's Tabernacle Pendrell Vale English version.
Oh. Best advice you repeat?
The strongest Magic card in the world is the credit card.
What do people get wrong about you?
It's a good question. I don't know. A lot, I guess.
Well, what do people get right about you?
I have a hard time with those questions. I'd rather ask people that question instead. They get right about me.
They think you're X and you are X, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people think I'm kind of douchey because of sometimes like my persona when I'm streaming. It's kind of like honestly, when I stream, I will like,
maybe broy. I don't know about douchey.
Sure, maybe it's a better word. I'm more broy. I have a persona on stream where it's like, it's not really, it's me, but it's like, it's pushed.
It's a character, yeah.
Yes, because people like drama or getting emotional. Oh my God, and draw, whatever it is. They like that.
All right.
So that they thought that maybe I'm more bro than
oh my God, I didn't draw the card I needed.
There you go.
What makes you happy?
My wife and my dogs.
Failure means
not providing for other people who care about.
Success means
providing for the people who care about. I know that that's such toxic masculinity too talking, but the first thing that pops in my head, and I'm
man. You like taking care of them. That's all good. And that ends another fundamental turn and another episode of Magic Mike's +1+1. Finally, Ali, where can people find you online?
You can follow me on anything /AliEldrazi, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So just Ali in the word Eldrazi.
That's where they can find you. So thanks for joining us here.
And cool stuff, actually.
And cool stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us here to discuss all things Magic. Thank you, Nerd Girl.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us for this new project that we're making.
That's right. Thank you, AliEldrazi, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's super cool. I actually enjoyed this. I feel like I talked a lot more than anybody else, but it was nice. Thank you.
That's what it's about.
It's an interview show. This episode is called +1+1: AliEldrazi. I would hope that you would talk a lot.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. As we move here to our final slide, I want to thank our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com, our co-sponsors, CardHoarder.com and Alter Sleeves, my co-hosts, MTG Nerd Girl and Ruben Bressler, our special guest, AliEldrazi. You guys for watching and listening. I hope you support us at patreon.com/magicmikes. Please follow, like, tweet, favorite, share, subscribe to everything social that tells people we exist. Catch us online on our Discord, twitch.tv at Magic Mikes, on Twitter at Magic Mikes Cast, our Magic Mikes subreddit, and like the Magic Mikes page on Facebook. Or join us here next time, same place, same time, for another episode of Magic Mike's +1+1. Good night, everybody.